Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is a 5-minute warning to please be seated at your table. We will be starting the official program in 5 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome back to the stage our host, Jerry D.
All right, thank you. Grab your seats for the main event, the inductions. Some of you did not put your table number by your silent auction bid, so you actually have to go back at some point and do that. So if you're not sure or you remember not doing that, if you could please just put your table number beside your bid so they know. I said that earlier, and then you didn't do it. We are going to begin shortly, when everyone gets settled, introducing and meeting our inductees for the evening. This is the reason we're here, and it's a tremendous honor to be inducted into any Hall of Fame. I'm in 5 right now. My grade school. I'm not in any. I just realized I should be in my grade school. I was the best athlete in my grade school. That's about as good as it got. C average. Kids, I had a C average, and I'm successful. So don't always believe what your parents tell you. C average. Look at me now. Canadian celebrity answering my own emails. Don't even know how to use email because I had a C average. Anyway, we are going to get into our inductions now. This is a couple of housekeeping things. We still have the 50-50 draw happening. So that will end about 45 minutes. It's when the intermission happens. So, but that's about 45 minutes. It's probably going to be upwards of $500,000 from what I'm hearing. That could be a lie, but it might not be. So why take the chance? What if I wasn't lying? That drive home will suck. You'll be like, oh my God. I don't think it's $500,000 because someone will email me later, and I get the email, so it'll be me it comes to. You lied. A shout out to the staff at the SOEC. That was a fabulous meal, and that's a lot of people to serve in a short period of time, and they did a great job. I got to eat as well, and it was great. So I'm not just saying it was good. It really was, because I tried it. And if it wasn't, I wouldn't have read this part. I would have said, no, I'm not saying thank you to them. But it was amazing. So, and a shout out to the people serving the food, and look how fast they got rid of everything. It's gone. There are just a lot of young kids working tonight. A little bit of child labor. I don't know about that. Some young grade 10 kids working. They looked huge to me because when I was in grade 10, as I said, I was 5 feet tall. So we are going to start with the inductions. Our first induction is in the team category, the South Surrey Eagles. Where are they at? Yeah. And they're here. Is that you over there? Awesome. They still tell the story too. You know they do everywhere they go, and they should. And now they have a better story to tell. They're a junior A hockey club that played in the BC Junior Hockey League. They dominated during the regular season, dominated throughout the playoffs, and eventually went on to win a national championship. Please turn your attention to the video screens.
A heartbreaking loss the year before in the final of the Royal Bank Cup helped fuel the 1998 South Surrey Eagles' quest for a championship. And for those teams who did venture out to the Olympic-size ice sheet that year, the rink in South Surrey was not an easy place for anyone to play. The Eagles rolled through the regular season with 43 wins and only 15 losses. In the playoffs, the team added another banner to the rafters, winning 4 series in BC before dispatching future NHLer Mike Comrie and the Alberta champion St. Albert Saints. That victory propelled the team into their second straight RBC Cup, and this time around, the Eagles would not be denied. Backstopped by netminder Peter Wishloff, South Surrey took Nanaimo by storm and beat the Weyburn Red Wings in the national final. That 4-1 victory helped cement them as a member of the BC Hockey Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 1997-98 RBC Cup champion, South Surrey Eagles, coming to the stage, all the members of the team, as well as head coach Mark Hollick and team captain Chris Wilson, who will get their official picture together. Come on up, guys.
I just wanted to say thanks to the BC Hockey Hall of Fame for this tremendous honor. Congratulations to the other inductees. I'm being honored here tonight. But there's a couple people that I'll be there, I'll be good. There's some people that I'd like to acknowledge that aren't here today, so. I was hired by a man, I got it, thanks guys.
You got this.
I got it. I was hired by a man named Cliff Hannibal. Cliff, on February 11th, when we were announced as our induction at Rogers Arena, Cliff and I and Willie, our captain Chris Wilson, and John Short, our assistant coach, went down for the announcement, and he was so excited to have that induction, and was so looking forward to being here today. Unfortunately, Cliff passed shortly thereafter. But his wife Maureen is here, so I'd like to. And his daughter Janet sitting down here, so as well. So I just wanted to introduce those people. We had a player on our team named Jeff Nabseth, who Nabber made our team probably 2-3 inches taller, 15 pounds heavier every single night he was in the lineup. He was a great kid. A year later, Jeff passed in a training accident, and he was part of our group as well. So I'd like to acknowledge Jeff. And Larry and Diane are here somewhere. His parents are here. I don't know, sitting over here. Larry and Diane are here, and Brian, his brother. So wanted to acknowledge that as well. Grinder, Gary Meredith, our equipment manager, passed away about a year ago as well. He was larger than life physically and with his voice as well. So we just wanted to make sure I mentioned Grinder. And John Short, our assistant coach, is unable to be here for some health reasons. He's at home in White Rock. I'm sure he's watching on the cast as well, but just wanted to make sure that a shout out to John. And the players that all made it out to Penticton, that you see stand behind me, great group of kids. It's really, when you coach, this was my, believe it or not, my first year as a general manager and head coach, and we ended up, doing what we did, but all the credit goes to these young men. They played real hard. They were great players, not only great players, but great citizens in the community. Anything we needed them to do to show up to, they did it, smile on their face. I'm sure they had their fun along the way. Stuff I didn't know about it, but I'm hearing some stories last night. I got told a bunch of stuff I should have known about, but I didn't. But so anyways, I just wanted to congratulate them too. And there's no way we could have done it without these guys. They're just a great group of young men. So thank you very much.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Good. Thanks, man.
Congrats, guys. That's one of the reasons I want my son to play, because moments like this is why you play, right? For these memories that they'll take with them forever. But he doesn't like it, so back to that. It kind of pisses me off as I see this. It's a reminder of the camaraderie. They're all still friends. Pictures. He's at home on his iPad right now. It's midnight in Toronto. Why is he up? Maybe I'm the problem. Our next inductee is in the builder category, and she was an integral part of women's hockey development in Canada and internationally. I'd like to ask past inductee Nancy Wilson to the stage to speak about Karen Wallace's contributions to hockey.
Good evening, everyone. It is really an honor tonight to introduce the next woman to be inducted into the BC Hockey Hall of Fame, my friend Karen Wallace. In the early 1980s, Karen Wallace was a hockey mom with 4 kids, and they're here tonight. She was struck, though, with the realization that girls in the hockey system were an afterthought in comparison to her sons. Karen's daughter had little opportunity to advance in the sport. Karen knew that change didn't happen from the sidelines. So she got involved and spent the next 2 decades shaping the women's game. In addition to her already countless hours involved with minor hockey, she took her advocacy to another level, and in 1985, she became the Director of Female Hockey for the province of British Columbia. Female hockey programs were very uncommon at the time, so Karen toured the province of British Columbia, organizing female camps and jamborees while communicating to parents that hockey was a great choice for their young girls. She wrote a manual on how to organize and grow the girls' game, which was utilized by all of the Canadian provinces. And in 1989, she brought the women's national championship to Richmond, BC, which was the first time in the game's history. Karen brought her vision to the national stage in 1990 when she was elected to the chair of Hockey Canada's Female Council, which represented the needs of female players. She went on to obtain approval for girls hockey to be concluded at the 1991 Canada Winter Games, where 13-year-old Hayley Wickenheiser would score the game-winning goal in her first gold medal game. As a result, women's hockey began to gain momentum, and registration numbers increased by 40% in Canada. But Karen wasn't finished yet. She set her sights at the Olympics. She and her female counsel put together a compelling case for the inclusion of female hockey in the Olympics, and in 1992, female hockey was included as a full medal sport. The 1990s were a period of unprecedented growth for female hockey, and specifically between 1990 and 1997, under Karen Wallace's leadership, enrollment more than tripled, and the Canadian women's national team won every major international competition, including 3 world titles. The rest of the world looked to Canada's female hockey program as the international leader. A good friend of Karen's was not able to make it tonight, but he wanted to send this video message.
Karen was a great friend to the Hadwin family, and we couldn't be happier for her induction. We are happy to see her legacy live on in this way. She will always be missed, but never forgotten. Congratulations to Karen's family on this honor.
Those of you that don't know who that was Adam Hadwin, golf pro. Sadly, Karen Wallace passed away on March 23rd, surrounded by her loving family who's here today. Karen Wallace is recognized as a pioneer of our game, but I'll remember her as an ambassador of the women's hockey who, with poise and determination, stick-handled our game to the level that the rest of the world would model. Today, when girls lace up their skates and dream of national and international glory, they do so in large part because of Karen Wallace. Please welcome to the stage to accept this award, Karen's husband, Norm Wallace.
Unfortunately, Nancy and I didn't collaborate, so I scratched a whole bunch of things out. I'd like to congratulate all of the 2019 inductees and all of the folks that come from Saskatchewan. Karen's a Saskatoon girl. I played baseball at Quotient. Hey? Ronnie? You bet. The Wallace family receives this honor on behalf of my late wife and my best friend. We had a great time. For 49 and a half years, we lived the dream. A few things that happened as we were growing up in the hockey world. Our dinner table was always a conversation about hockey. We actually talked about the great game. We had goaltender, we had a defenseman 2, forwards 1, referee 1, an administrator, and a coach, a male and female hockey players, and we even had junior hockey billets. We had some good conversations. Billets can eat more pasta than anybody I know. During the time Karen was working on behalf of BC Hockey and then later CAHA, one of her mentors was Bobby Nicholson. Of course, he comes from British Columbia, and he was second in command in Ottawa at the time. When Karen got there, she was lobbying for various improvements for female hockey. The advantage was that Bobby not only was a great listener, he was a great doer as well. A lot of things happened in Ottawa. Now it's Calgary. In Ottawa, I got to tell you this one story. They're preparing for the Olympics, and part of the deal was that they really wanted to have a little bit more cross-section of countries. They weren't sure that having two very strong teams, i.e. United States and Canada, would keep the female hockey program at the Olympics. So Bobby and Karen joined the Russian Federation along with the International Ice Hockey Federation one evening. And of course, the Russians brought out the vodka. Anyways, they're having a couple of vodkas, and Karen's not a big vodka drinker. But Bobby would carry the tune, and there was a plant beside Karen, and she would dump the vodka in as these guys are getting hammered. Anyways, Russia did start their hockey program. Just a little item, and Nancy touched on it. Female hockey in 1990 had 8,100 registered players in Canada. In 2018, we have 87,000. In the United States, they have 75,800, almost equal. Russia had 2,400. It's quite a disparity. But Karen would really be pleased at what happened this past World Hockey Championships, where Russia was in the medal round. They lost to Canada, who got the bronze. But being pleased when you're playing Canada, for her, it was making everybody compete. Everybody was there competing. That was the key. Competition spread the game. Another note that we never touched on, because Nancy and I never collaborated, female hockey started a professional hockey league, and it's had some bumps, as you've probably read, over the last year or so. I believe that the NHL will seize the opportunity and assist or take over that league. I hope they do. Competition for female hockey is the Olympics and World Championships. For boys or men's hockey, it's your league, it's your province, it's your national championship, it could be the Olympics, it could be World Championships. For women, they need something to maintain their competitive edge and their interest as great athletes. If we get the NHL and the professional hockey for female hockey, you will see competition improve, and it's improved immensely. If you watch a female hockey game, it's damn near as good as an NHL game. Matter of fact, in my opinion, some days there's a more hitting in girls hockey or female hockey than there is in the NHL. Sorry, boys, just the way it is. I'm from the old school, remember. In conclusion, Karen would have said, ladies, you require a champion in your association or your province, in our country and other countries, to provide direction and leadership to improve the great game of hockey, female hockey. Have a good night. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to Karen Wallace and her family. I've also tried to get some hockey conversations around our dinner table, and you know that doesn't happen, doesn't work. It becomes a TikTok video. That's what my son's into. I don't think there's a lot of NHL players that did TikTok when they were little. Probably shot pucks in the basement. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. I was fortunate this year to be one of the coaches, use that term loosely, at the CWHL, Canadian Women's Hockey League All-Star Game, and I knew a lot of the women, the players already, and I got to see more about what we're talking about here with the lack of funding, but I was astonished to find out that these are and it is a great game, these are the best players in the world. And I have daughters, some of you have daughters, and I can't imagine being a young girl and your dream is to be one of those Haleys or Janas or Natalies, and then you get there and you make $7,000. That's what the top player makes in that league. So I agree, Norm. I hope that Karen's legacy lives on and they are able to get the NHL. That league is folded. They have nowhere to play if you're not up to date on it. And let's hope that the NHL can step in and let those young girls have a dream like the boys do to make a living at it. They all have jobs, and right now that's not fair. Our next inductee this evening is also in the builder category and has been involved with the game of hockey his whole life. He had a successful career in the NHL. He is currently the chief amateur scout for your Vancouver Canucks and is a tireless advocate for his fellow First Nations people. Please turn your attention to the video screens as we welcome Ron DeLorme.
Growing up in Saskatchewan, Ron DeLorme excelled on the ice and very quickly became a role model for aspiring First Nations hockey players and athletes. A fierce competitor with a tough-as-nails approach to the game, DeLorme was drafted by the Kansas City Scouts in the 5th round of the 1975 NHL entry draft. Nicknamed Chief, it took him a couple of years to make the NHL, and he would play 4 full seasons with the relocated Colorado Rockies, becoming one of head coach Don Cherry's favorite players. Left unprotected in the preseason waiver draft, DeLorme was scooped up by the Vancouver Canucks in 1981. And then a year later, he helped them scrap and claw their way to the 1982 Stanley Cup Final. A knee injury would ultimately end his career, but the lessons learned from people like Roger Nielsen helped DeLorme transition into the Canucks front office, where he currently holds the title of Chief Amateur Scout. Please welcome into the BC Hockey Hall of Fame the man they call Chief, Ron DeLorme.
Joining Ron to make the presentation is Tim Lenardon of the Vancouver Canucks, also joining Ron's grandsons, Hayden, Antoine, and Nolan.
Thank you, and good evening. Glenn, I thank you for those kind words. I really thank you very much. When I was told about I was being inducted, I was kind of thinking about what am I going to say, because I'm coming in here as a builder. I thought I was going to get a triple crown because I got inducted last year by Saskatchewan as a player, and I'm going in here as a builder. So about 2 days before the draft, I get a call from Tambellini to congratulate me about BC Hockey Hall of Fame induction. And so, and on that Friday, Lanny McDonald calls me. And the first thing I thought of, when he called me, he says, "Chief, it's Lanny." He says, "I accept." So he But under Chief, I want to graduate. No, I accept. So anyways, we had a little fun with that. I thought I was going to get a triple crown with my third induction in NHL, but it's not going to happen. Anyways, 38 years I've been with the Canucks, 33 as a scout, and to give you 5 minutes to explain what you've done and everything else. And you know what, I've quite enjoyed my 38 years with the Canucks, you know, and there's so many people that I know here that I've played with, worked with, and I thank you so much for being here. A very special thanks to the BC Hockey Hall of Fame Board for selecting me. A huge salute to all this year's inductees, each of whom had made their incredible contributions to the province of BC. We have all come with our own unique experiences. And I feel privileged to be honored with you all. When I was reflecting on this induction, I spent a lot of time thinking about the people that helped me get here. People who played a role in my scouting and hockey career. So many people and friends that have profoundly impacted my life, starting with Mike Penny, who helped me get started in the business by giving me a scouting job in 1986. And when Mike Penny left Vancouver in 2000, he recommended me to Brian Burke, Dave Nonis, and Steve Tambolini to be their head scout. And tonight, many thanks goes to those four gentlemen for the wonderful opportunity for showing me tremendous loyalty to me. I'm proud to say that my development as a scout was a direct result of Mike Penny's willingness to act as a mentor to me. When I was trying to put this 5-minute speech together, I was overwhelmed as I reflected on the number of people who have helped my career. And there are many people that were out there that helped me a lot. But two people I owe the greatest debt to are Don Cherry and Pat Quinn. Don Cherry, I always knew one thing about Cherry. He believed in what he said, and he made you listen, whether it was good or bad. I know in my heart he made me a better player, a better person, and a person to believe in myself. He's the reason I'm standing here today. Pat Quinn. Pat Quinn was one of those individuals that touched so many people in the game of hockey. There wasn't a better person or teacher. Whether you played for him, worked for him, he was the definition of a great man and a great person. Pat was more than a colleague. He was a father figure to me when I lost mine. I'm so grateful to both these two men. I've been inducted here as a builder, and you can build in different ways: coaching, management, or in another off-ice role. And as a builder, I hope that I contributed to the foundation of the game by scouting for the Vancouver Canucks for 33 years. Scouting players is a long, grueling, difficult procedure. It's a process that requires diligence and study. Scouting is a very time-consuming job. It may not always be rewarding. And over my career, I've watched nearly 8,200 games, taking me away from my home 3 weeks per month during the season. To be successful at the job, personal sacrifice must be made. There isn't simply enough time to find an equal balance between the job, personal life, and your family. While I love the friendships I made with my fellow scouts, and 33 years, I must say, to my family. I regret the missed opportunities to enjoy life, as it should have been as a family. To my wife, Joan, and to my son, Blair, and his family, Stacy, Hayden, and Nolan, to my daughter, Leah, Julianne, and Antoine. You are all my true Hall of Famers. You mean everything to me, win or lose. No matter what situation was, you all had been there to support me and throughout my years of foreign and North American travel. It's been an amazing journey for me, amazing. I thank you all for being by my side, especially to my wife, Joan, for allowing me to pursue my dreams and my passions, and understanding when I was missing so many events at home. Joan, you have been an incredible mom. I can't imagine where I'd be without you. I'm so proud to share this honor with you and my family. And I also would like to thank my parents, Tony and Gertrude Delorme. I would not, my mother is in the hospital. She's got pneumonia, so I unfortunately can't be here. I would not be where I am today without their unconditional love, support, and encouragement. And what can I say about Vancouver, both as a city and as an organization? The Griffith family had vision. McCaw brought some stability. The Ackley family is doing an incredible job of continuing that legacy today. And to my scouting workmates, for 33 years, I was blessed to scout and work with so many great guys, and 6 of them are here today. Scott Carter, Steve Tambellini, Stan Smeal, Harold Snips, Glenn Hanlon, and Tim Lenardon. What I remember most about all those years, the family elements that we had as scouts, the emotions that drew us together, the simple joy of hockey and scouting. And I want to thank you all, to every scout that I worked with, for your sacrifices and dedication. Time does not allow me to acknowledge each and every one of my lifelong friends, teammates, alumni, relatives who are all here, but you know who you are. And I thank you all for being here. The general managers that I worked for established the fundamental principles of my existence for 3 decades. And I would say all but one taught me the philosophies of building a team and the meaning of leadership. So tonight I thought, being a native, I would honor 2 of the GMs by giving them Indian names. Aboriginal people have a tradition of giving people Indian names who have impacted their lives in good or bad ways. Spirit animals can symbolize aspects of your personality, skills, or traits. Starting with Brian Burke, so Brian the Wolf Burke. The wolf symbolized an appetite for freedom and living powerfully guided by instincts, but not easily domesticated, just like Brian Burke was or is. Mike Gillis. The Indian name I gave Mike is Chief Walking Eagle. And you probably all want to know how I came to select the Indian name that I gave to Mike. Well, a walking eagle is a bird that's so full of shit it can no longer fly. Mike, Chief Walking Eagle. I hope that my involvement in hockey and for all kids, especially First Nations, has helped grow the game, engage more young people, and extend the reach of our game around British Columbia. I hope I have set the standards that allows the First Nation kids that can all strive to achieve. Thank you again. I've got one from Timmy, Donkey. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Congratulations, Ron, family. First thing they told me tonight is don't swear. His first thing, my reaction was, look, she didn't even care. She's like, it's nice to hear all of the, so far, I'm sure that, you know, the men that are traveling, and Glenn and Ron and Norm, and their appreciation for their wives, you know, all the time they're away. And I'm like realizing, like, I didn't even get a text from my wife tonight, nothing. Like, I think we have think there's something wrong with that, right? Like, I think she's glad when I'm away. Nothing. She just went to bed. 3 hours ahead, not good night. Nothing. It's disheartening. So it's nice to see couples that still love each other like that. I hope she does. Find out when I get home, because I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to bring up a lot. Here's the thing. I'll leave you with this, because I'm not finishing the second half. You have so many great people here. Jim Houston is here. There's so many people that are going to come up and welcome the other inductees. My wife did this to me the other day, and she does love me. Trust me, she does. I know she does. Tonight I was a little bit thrown by nothing, and I'm hearing all this love in the room. But we'll talk about it tomorrow. But she came into the kitchen one day and said, "You're my best friend." Out of nowhere. And I didn't say, you know, "Hey, am I your best friend?" She just came in and said, "You're my best friend." And that's tough, because I know the next question is, am I your best friend? And now what, right? Because no, like, what am I going to say? No, you're not even top 5. But no, you're not. But I can't do that. But she's not. So do I lie? She's not my best friend, right? Steve is my best friend. And then I got Rob, and I got a list of people. And then right now she's dropped a position from not texting me. And I realized something, that it's kind of a secret, I think, a men thing that I know I do and my friends do. I do a lot of, I like to hang out with my best friends, right? My wife's on the list, but she's kind of later on the list. And so when I want to do stuff with them, I build up this point system. And I think this is how men work, and we don't even know we're doing it. I will do something for my wife, or, you know, take her to an event, right? Some of you brought your wives here tonight, and you probably didn't want to. No, but you're getting points, right? This is how men think. I'm getting points. I'll take her to the BC Hockey Hall of Fame dinner. She'll love it. I'll get points. Next week, I'm going out with my friends. And I think that's how men, we bank these points. I know we bank them. Like, I always have points. But you have to know. Some guys don't get it. You have to know how many points you have, right? Like, my friends asked me to go to Vegas a couple weeks ago. I'm like, I can't go to Vegas. I don't have enough points for Vegas. Like, you got to build that up. Want to go for a bike ride? I can go for a bike ride. You guys want to go for a bike ride? And it's funny, the biggest argument my wife and I get, and it's not an argument, but the biggest thing, we have this ongoing 7-year thing where my wife buys a lot of fruit. We don't eat it. We don't eat fruit. My kids, I mean, God forbid we have scurvy, they don't eat it. Like, we just have a lot of fruit. She buys, but the thing I don't get is she keeps buying bananas. And I think this is a woman thing, because we have 45 bunches of bananas in our freezer right now for this banana bread she keeps talking about making. I don't know how hard banana bread is to make, but she freaks out if I open the freezer and she's upstairs. As soon as she hears the freezer, she says, "Don't throw those bananas out." It's just like this panic. I'm gonna make a banana bread. I'm like, for what, 1,000 people? And then we get an argument. She did make it once. And she must have forgot 5 ingredients. I don't know. It's got to be a way to Google banana bread. But we're going to have a little intermission. The 50-50 crew are over there. Look, they're ready to sell. What's it at? 1 point what? 1 point what? 1 point something, I can't hear. So they're over there, so get your 50-50 tickets. Silent auction is still open. Put your table number beside your item, and the live auction is coming, and more importantly, the remaining inductees are coming. So thank you so much for having me a small part of this. Congratulations to all the inductees and their families, and enjoy the the second half. You got a little break. We'll see you in 10 minutes.
Deep in the woods.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is a 5-minute warning to please be seated at your table. We will be starting the official program in 5 minutes.
Beth. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is kind of a humbling experience when Jerry D buggers off and doesn't do any introduction. It's kind of hard to introduce yourself and talk a little bit about yourself, so I'm not going to do that. I'm your auctioneer for this evening. My name is Todd Hudson from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Woo! Go Warriors! Anyway, right now, the 50-50, where are the 50-50 people? They're right here. We're going to close the 50-50 here momentarily, and then the silent auction will go along. As soon as we're done the live auction, the silent auction items will be taken off. So you can carry on with the silent auctions. I got a phone call about, I don't know, it must have been 3 or 4 months ago from a buddy of mine that I met up in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. His name is Grant Claddock. He's one of your board members here. And when I met Grant Claddock was like 85, 86, and that's when I used to be an auctioneer. And I sold at the stockyard up there. I was a young guy selling in the stockyard in PA, and that's quite a few years ago. And I only sold, I sold up till about 1992, and then I switched professions, and now I sit in front of all the auctioneers and I buy cattle. And it's been a great ride buying cattle. We got cattle buyers all over Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. So this is an auction sale to me. I sit in front of them every day. I wanted to practice, so last night we go out and we get a little piled up. Jim Dunlap, I want to thank him for helping me do that, and Grant Claddock. I should have probably practiced a little bit because I haven't done this for a while. So then today, after I wake up with a wine headache, I thought, well, this is perfect. I'll go for a nice long walk, get back to the hotel at about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, maybe practice a little bit because I haven't practiced for a long time. And Chief, I'm glad you swore up here. It makes my job a lot easier because, as Grant knows, I swear a lot, so he told me not to swear either. So if you hear the word golf, it's just replacing the other 4-letter word, okay? So my idea was to go to the hotel, practice a little bit, but then I get a phone call from Jim Dunlop, and what do? We go on a big wine tour for the rest of the afternoon. We hit four wineries, and then we end up at a distillery at the end at about 4:30. So bear with me if I don't sound that golfing great today, okay? So I go to my room, think, okay, I'm going to practice, but no, the wife and I just golfed for a while. Now we're here. Now, Grant, you're going to have to go through this little bit of preparation with me, and maybe all you guys can help me out. Like, to warm up before an auction sale, I always did a few tongue twisters. Like, I'm not a pheasant plucker. I'm a pheasant plucker's son, sitting plucking pheasants till the pheasant plucker comes. Betty bought some butter, but she said this butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it'll make my batter bitter. So she bought a bit of better butter, put it in her bitter batter, made her bitter batter better, so Betty bought herself a bit of better butter. Now, I need to do that because you need to generate some moisture into your mouth, and it's hard to do it when you don't do it every day. So bear with me. We got some really great items, and what I want to tell you guys is on the back page here, we're going to sell these auction items, and I want you to, read through because it's only successful, these kind of events, with the people that donate and spend the time and donate all these auction items for you guys to bid on. And it's all in the back. We don't have time to go through all the names individually when we're going to sell them. Could somebody please bring me a rum? My mouth is dry here. Now, is everybody familiar? They've got their catalog in front of them. We're going to start this auction sale. So read through your catalog, follow along in your catalog. Okay, perfect. This might take 3 or 4 of these. I'm nervous, Grant. So look at your catalog, read through them, please read the back, and thank all these sponsors that put this event on. You guys got one hell of a committee here, and you guys put on a fantastic show. And I want to thank all the committee members that put this show on, because you guys, it takes a lot of work. Also, what a facility. Moose Jaw is in the WHL, and they don't have a rink quite this nice, and our rink's 5 years old, but oh man, you guys got to be proud of this. Okay, we're going to have 2 spotters. I don't know where Jim is right now. He's probably back at, oh, there he is. Those lights are a little bright. I can't see. So when we're selling, and Grant Claddock's over there, he's going to catch some bids. So please raise your hand up, get their attention. We don't want to miss anybody. And I got, who's over there? Doug? Doug's over in the far corner to my left, and he'll also be catching bids. So I got these lights shining right at me. I think I can pretty much see everybody down here or in the darker area. But let's please, if you want an item, hold your hand up, and we'll make this thing happen. So for the first item is a sports car, wine, and golf. This Oliver area package includes 5 laps around the experience ride around with a Camaro with 2 people at Area 27 Motorsports Park. And I guess that's quite a place. I've never been there. I wish somebody was up here describing all these things, but you people are all from here and you understand it. Plus a 1-night accommodations in Oliver, rounds of golf at the Fairview Mountain, and I hope I get this right, Incameet. Did I get that right? Incameet Canyon, and a wine tour and a beer tasting. Without any further ado, we're going to start this auction off. 10,000, 5,000, 2,000, 2,002, 222, 1,000, anywhere, 105, 500, 500. Let's go, 500. It's a $2,000 value, folks. 500. Thank you, sir. 750. 500 out of my 750s, 500 out of 750. 750 anywhere. 500 down here with this, sir. 750. 600. We'll do it the hard way then. 5. Now 6. 6. 7. 700. I'm on a 6. Now 7. That's 700 anywhere. 600 down on a 7 and a 600 down on a 7 anywhere. 600 down here. 700. 7. Way undervalued here. 700. $700. 600. Now 7. That's 7. That's 7. That's 600 down on a 7. I might be missing somebody. You got anybody back there, Grant? 600. Now 7. We're going to roll along here and sell these items. I got 6 down here. 7. Now 8. 800. At 800. At 7 on them in the 8 at 888. 700 on them in the 888. Down 9. 900. At 999. 800 on them in the 9 to 900. 800. You've been there, sir. 8999. You've weighed me a catalog. 800 on them in the 9. 900 anywhere. 800 on them in the 9 to 99. Now 10. Did you bid? 10. 1000. 1000 at 9 over here. 10. 10 anywhere. 900 on them on the 10 to 10. 900 and a quarter then. 925. 925. 925. 900 on them on the quarter. 925. Now 50. 950. 950. 925. You started it. Let's go. 925. 50. 950 over there. I got 25 over here, 950. 925, 950, 950, 950, 925, now 50, now 75. 975, 950 on them on the 75, 50 over here, 75. 975, 950 on them on the 75, 950, now 75. $975 sold. $950 right over here to this lady. And who have I got buying it right here? It's very important we find out who's buying. Canadian Tire? Canadian Tire. Thank you very much, folks from Canadian Tire. Okay, second item up. 4 Seasons of Fun in Penticton. This package includes a ton of fun year-round. It's got a whole bunch of ski tickets, golf passes to different golf courses, wine tours, accommodations, tickets to the Oktoberfest, paddleboarding, whip bits, snowshoeing. There's all kinds of deals in this one. The value of this item is worth $3,000. So You get an opportunity downtown Penticton to buy this today. 3,000. 3,000. I wish it was like selling cattle. 100 and a quarter and a half and a 75 and a 2/4 half 75 on them and a 3/4 half 75 4. Now we're at 400 already, you guys. 500. 5. 600. That's 6. 7. 700 on them. 600 on them and a 7. 600 on them and a 7. 7. $3,000 value here. $700. 6, now 7. 700. 6 on them and a 7. 7, now 8, 8, 8, 8. 7 down here. 800 anywhere. 800, 800, 800. 700 and 8, 8, 8, 800 anywhere. 800, 800, 800, 800. 7, now 8. 800, 800. I think we need some more booze. 800. 800, 7, now 8, $800 anywhere. That's 7 on them and the 8 at 8, 8, 800 anywhere, 700 on them and the 8, 8, 8, 8. I got this right over here at $700. Now 8. Yes, correct. 800, 800, at 800. At 7 on them and the 8 at 8, 8, 8. Now 9 to 9 to 9, 800 on them and the 9 to 9, 900. You're out, ma'am, 900. 800 back here to my right. Now 9, 900, 800 on the 9 to 9, 9 down, 10, 10, 10, 10, 9 on them on the 10 to 10, 10, 100. 9 and the 10, 10, 10, 10, 9 on them on the 10 to 10, 10, now 11, now 11, now 10, now 11. 1100, you out over here. 10 back over here. Now 1100, 1100. At 10 on them on 11, 10 on 11, 1100, 1100. 1,000 bid, 1,100 anywhere, 1,000, 1,100, 1,100, 1,100, 1,100, $1,100. Are you bidding, sir, or are you just holding the camera up? Okay, sorry, 1,100, 1,100. Sold, $1,000 right here to this young lady. How do you want that weighed? He's right there with Doug. Bought item number 2. So who do we weigh it under for a buyer? Okay, who bought that last item? Who was the buyer of the last item? Because it's just as important to, yeah, I know that, but we should announce it because they're here to spend money and it's going to a great cause. It's not about what you're going to buy here. It's all about where it's going to go. So it really, I mean, you're getting a wonderful whole bunch of stuff here, valued at a lot of money, and it's not about what you're getting. It's about where the money's going and helping a great cause. So who do we weigh that to? Is it a business? And C. Wilson's twin sister. Well, thank you very much. Item number 3, Vancouver Canucks Alumni Suite. You and 3 of your buddies will be guests of the Vancouver Canucks alumni in their level 5 suite in a 2019-20 season, regular season home game at Rogers Arena. This package will include watching both teams in the morning skate and signed Canucks jerseys, complimentary beer and wine and snacks, and of course 4 tickets to watch the game that night in the alumni box with some of the alumni members. Okay, on number 3, Vancouver Canucks Alumni Suite. Hockey tickets for 4. 2,000. 2,000, 500, gives you an excuse to go to Vancouver too. 5, 6, 600, and 7. 6 down here, 7, now 8, at 800. At 7 on them on the 8, and a 9, 9, 9, 800 on them on the 9 to 9, 8 over here, now 9, 900, 900, 900, 8 on them on the 9 to 9, now 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 9 on them on the 10 to 10, 10, 11. What, 1,100, 1,100, 1,100, 1,100, 10 over here, 11, 11, sir, now 12, at 12, you want, I got to go 12, 1,200, 12 and 13, 1,300, 12 in the back and 13, 1,300, 13, 13, now 14, 14, 14, 13, on them and a 14, 1,400, I'm up here for 13, now 14, 1,400, this will only hurt for a little while, and I'll let you know when you're paying too much, 1,400, 14, 15, 15, you got somebody on, Grant? 14? 14, now 15, 15, 16, 1,600, you're out again, 1,600, 16, 1,500, I'm on a 16, 1,600 anywhere, 15, now 16, 1,600, 15, 16, now 17, 1,700, that's 17, now 18, 18, 18, 18, 19, 19, 19, 19, now 2, at 2,000, $20,000, at 2,000, at 1,900, I'm on a 2, 2, 2, 2, 1,900, I'm on a 2, 2, 2, 1,900 down front here, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, at 2,000, 2, now 21, at 2,100, at 2, I'm on the 21, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2,000 to 21, 2,100, 21. You've been with me the whole way. 21, now 2, at 21 to 2, at 2,200, at 21, I'm on a 2 to 2, 2, 2, 21 down here now, 2, 2, 2, 2, 21, 2, $2,200, 21 now 2, sold $2,100. Is that Jack? Oh, that's Norman. Norman, thank you very much, Norman. Norman and family, what an outstanding job that guy did. I have no reason to be nervous up here after what that gentleman did up here today. Thank you very much. Okay, we got a couple's getaway to Summerland. Discover the secrets of Summerland in this 2-day wine and stay package. This package, I think, is for 4 people, and private wine tours with 4 people at Ogopogo Tours, 2 nights accommodation in a 2-bedroom condo, suites, and then and waterfronts in Summerland, 2 rounds of golf at the Summerland Golf Course, and 2 Tranquility for a day spa packages from whatever. Where am I? I'm losing. I need my other glasses, dear. I got my old ones on. Anyway, the day spa and a case of assorted wine in case you want to do some golfing later. So you should probably, if you're going to do some golfing, take your wife along because it wouldn't look good with the guys. Well, unless you're that way. But anyway, we're going to sell item number 4. 3,000, 2,000, 1,500. At 15, 500, and 6, 600. At 5, on them on a 6, 600 anywhere. 5, 6, now 7. At 7, on them on the 8, at 8, 8, 8, 8. Over to 7 now, 8, 8, 800 anywhere. 800, 800, 800, 800, 7 on them on the 8, at 8, 800 anywhere. Grant, get somebody on 8, now 9. 900 at 9, 8 on them on the 9 to 9, 800. Good thing because I was on 8, now 9, 900 at 8 in the back, now 9 to 9, 900 and now 1,000. 1,000, ma'am, now 1,100. 1,100, now 12, 1,200 at 1,200. Grant, I got that lady right, or guy, or little lady right there at $1,000. Now I need 1,100. 1,100. 11, now 12. 1,200. At 11, now 12. At 1,200 anywhere, 11 on them on the 12 to 12, 12. Thank you very much. 11, now 12, 1,200. 11 on them on the 12 to 1,200 anywhere, 11 on the 12, 1,200, 1,200, 1,200. Does that lady want to get back on? 1,200, 1,200, 1,300, 1,300. Your guys are all out over there. 1,300, 12, now 13, 13, 14, 1,400. Sir, you're out. 1,400, 13 in the back now, 14, 14, 14, 1,300 on them on a 14, 14, 1,400, 1,400, sir, 1,400, sold 1,300 in the back with Grant. Yeah. Okay. Okay, just a reminder that the silent auction is going to come off the blocks here right away, so if you got an item out there you want to make sure your name's on, just go have a look at it right now because we're going to pull it off here very soon. Now we got something special here, item number 5. Sedin's Jersey Retirement Day, which is February 12th, 2020. And this is being part of the history of the 50th season for the Vancouver Canucks. You'll receive 2 tickets and seats at the Rogers Center for the Sedin's Jersey Retirement Game on Wednesday, February 12th, 2020, as well as one-night accommodations. Also, you're going to get a signed jersey from each of the Sedin boys, Daniel, this and Hendrik. This is the night that they raise and honor those 2 gentlemen that were the staple of that franchise for a long, long time. It's the 50th anniversary also of the Vancouver Canucks. This is a lot of history there, and I don't have to tell you people how valuable those two brothers were to this team. They were probably as valuable as a tandem of any team in the whole NHL. And you guys get to be there and witness the winning purchaser of this, to witness history in the making. We're going to start this package, 5,000. 5,000, 2,000, 2,000, 1, now 2. At 1 on 1,000, now 2. At 1, 2, now 3. At 3,000. At 2 on them and a 3 to 3. 2,500 then. At 2, now 25. At 25, at 25. 2,000 to 25, 2,500, 25, 25, 2,000 to 25. This is history, you guys. You'll never, ever have another chance at this ever again because this is a one-time deal. 2,000, now 2,500. 2,500 at 25. At 2,250 then. 2,000, now 2,250. Grant, you're on it too. Somebody over there. 2,000. Now 2,250. 2,000 at 22. At 2,250. At 2,000 on 2,250. Now 5. 25. At 25. At 25. At 2,250 on them and the 5 for 5. 2,500. 2,500. 2,500. $2,500. 25. I got Jimmy on at 2,250. Now 2,500. At 2,500. At 25, rubber baby buggy bumpers, Betty water butts and butter. 25, 25, Plymouth Plaster pewter plotter on a pile of plates. 25, 2,500 at 2,250 down 555, 2,250 on them and the 5, $2,500. I sold it, 2,250. Congratulations. Who's the buyer? Yeah. Okay, and we have the same one, right? Yeah. Now, the runner-up. Just been told we have another 2 tickets. So the runner-up can have the same at $2,250. The runner-up was over here somewhere. Might have been me. I think it was me. Does anybody want it for $2,250? We do have one more package to go right here. Thank you, sir. Thanks very much, because it was either me or you. I think we have one more special item, and maybe 2, that's not in your program. And this is, do you want to talk about this a little bit? Do you know the history behind this and who did it and all that? Because this stuff is important. We got some prints here.
So donated by artist Peter Jurek. Peter, are you around here somewhere? Put your hand up. I don't see him. Okay. Peter, anyways. Peter's original painting, canvassed, signed by Daniel and Henrik and Alex Burrows. That's pretty much all the background I have on it. There's a scenery of Vancouver in the background. We also have Bieksa and Burrows, Luongo, and Kessler on there.
Okay, on the print here. Is it a print or is it an original, you guys? That makes a difference, right? Is it an original? Or is it a print from an original? It's original. It is original, so you don't get a chance to buy an original painting or a canvas of any type. Most original artists keep their original stuff and make copies of it. So you have an opportunity here tonight that's very, very rare. Okay, on this painting, 5,000, 5,000, 5, 2, 2,000, at 2, should be hands all over, 2,000, 1,000, now 2, at 1, now 2, at 2 on them and a 1, a 2, 2, 2, 2,000 anywhere, 1 on them and a 2, 2,000, 2,000 at 1 on them and a 2, to 2, 2, 1,000 on them and a 2, 2,000 anywhere, 1,000, 2,000, 1 bid, now 2, 2,000 anywhere, 1 on them and a 2, to 2, 2,000 anywhere, 1,500, 1,500. This is an original. 1,500. 1,000. Now 15. 1,500. 15. 15. 1,500 anywhere. 1,500. 15. 1,500. Put them at 15. 1,000. Now 15. 1,500. $1,500. 1,000. Now 15. 15. 1,500. $1,500. 1,500 anywhere. 1,500. I think we're undervalued here for an original painting, you guys. 1,500. 1,000. Bid. Now 15. How about 1,100? We'll do it the hard way. 1,100. 1,100. 1,000. Now 11. 1,100. 1,100 anywhere. 1,000 on them at 11. 1,100. $1,100. $1,100. Sold to Hudson Cattle Company. That'll be me. Is this the, which one's this now? Okay, now this is the Sedin Brothers. It's absolutely fantastic. And I believe this is also an original. If the artist is here, if he could please come up and maybe say a few words. I'd really like him to come up and talk about this for a second. Maybe even auction it off. He's coming up here. What's his name? Peter Jurek, I'm just going to let him talk a little bit because here's the artist that did these paintings. It's just fantastic.
Well, thank you very much. After all those speeches, the prior people who did, I'm not going to speak too much about it. The only thing I could say that the Sedins in this picture is that that was their procedure, how they were dedicated to Canucks. And they, each morning they bicycled to Vancouver Airport. Then they went to Grouse. They did the Grouse grind. They came down and went home to UBC. So when you look at it, it's on top of the Grouse. On the left-hand side, you see Stanley Park, and then a little bit of UBC, and then Vancouver Island behind it. So that's the way I portrayed it.
Thank you, Peter. Thanks very much. Now he's given us an opportunity to buy another one of his paintings. 2,000. 2,000. 2,000. At 2. 1,000. 1,000. 1. 15. 1,500. At 10 on them on a 15. 15, not 2. At 15 on them on a 2. I got 15 way in the back, okay? Now 2. 2,000. At 1,500 on a 2 to 2, 2,000 anywhere. 1,500 on a 2 to 2, 2,000. 15 in the back. Now 2. 2,000. At 2,000 at 1,500 on a 2 to 2, 2,000 anywhere. 1,500 on a 2. $2,000. 2,000. 1,500 on a 2. 1,750. We'll do it the hard way. 1,750. At 15. Now 1,750. At 1,750. 1,500 on a 1,750. 15. 1,750. Sold. 15. I am so sorry, sir. Grant, this gentleman has bid on everything all the way along, and he got it between the OLD. So I got 1,750. Ask your gentleman back there for 2,000. I'm really sorry. It's a big crowd. We don't want to miss anybody, and I apologize. 2,000. 2,000. 2,250. 2,250. At 2,250, 2,000 on them on a 2,250, 2,250, 2,000 on them on a 2,250, 2,250, 2,250, 2,000. One more shot at her, sir. Yes? 2,250. Thanks for being a great sport, and thank you back there too. Sold for $2,000. Give the man a hand. Oh, I gotta. Okay, silent auction is now closed. And thank you for letting me be your auctioneer this evening. It was a pleasure. And you guys have one hell of a rank, and you got a great committee here, and you got a lot of support. I just want to commend you guys on what a great job you guys do. Thanks very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the chair of the BC Hockey Hall of Fame Selection Committee, Mr. Bernie Pascoe.
Thank you very much. We're going to continue with the induction program. Jerry D. asked if he could leave a little early. He missed his wife too much, I think. But the truth is, the Greyhound leaves at 10, so he has to get there in time to head to Toronto. But let's have a round of applause for Jerry D. It was sure fun having him. If you notice, when I came up, I walked by Ron Delorme. I was very polite, shook his hand again. Who the hell would want a nickname Walking Eagle? Great speeches tonight, even from Glenn Hanlon, a former goalie. Good job, Glenn. Thank you for your great support of the live auction, and thanks to Todd Hudson for an energetic and successful job of auctioneer. Our primary focus tonight is on the inductions. I'd like to congratulate all the inductees and their families, all combining a great degree of dedication and overall commitment to reach this plateau of recognition for your achievements. Our next inductee started officiating at the age of 11 right here in Penticton. His size immediately garnered respect. From the BCHL, WHL, to the NHL, he wore number 55. His hockey resume speaks volumes about his outstanding career. He was a mainstay of the NHL officiating staff for some 30 years, and a rarity of NHL officiating. He was not only a linesman, but he was also an NHL referee. I'd like to direct your attention now to the screens for this video salute.
Born in Summerland, Shane Heyer played his minor hockey in Penticton and started officiating at the early age of 11 after his hockey coach encouraged him and a few of his teammates to give refereeing a try. After almost a decade in junior hockey, he worked his first NHL game as a linesman at the Pacific Coliseum on October 6, 1988. That helped launch an incredible career at hockey's highest level, and when he recently retired on March 30th, 2018, his final numbers in the National Hockey League were just over 2,000 regular season games and 214 playoff games. One of the select few to work both as an NHL linesman and referee, the Okanagan native has had an incredible resume that includes all-star games, numerous outdoor games, 6 Stanley Cup finals, including the Penguins' victory in 2017. And on the international stage, his highlight was that he took part in the 2010 Winter Olympics in Vancouver. When asked recently about the best part of an NHL game, he simply replied, standing for the national anthem. So let's all please rise, remove our hats, and welcome Shane Heyer into the BC Hockey Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome Shane Heyer as a 2019 BC Hockey Hall of Fame inductee, joining him on the stage to make the presentation, the CEO of BC Hockey and a board director with the BC Hockey Hall of Fame, Barry Petrochenko. Congratulations, Shane.
Thank you, Bernie. Thanks for those kind words, Bernie. I'd like to start by congratulating all the other inductees and award winners this evening. Well done. I'd like to thank my friend Rob Schick and the nomination committee, as well as all the sponsors that make this tremendous event happen. So thank you to all of them. I was thinking recently that in life, none of us get where we are alone. So if you'll bear with me, I'll try to be quick, and I'd like to acknowledge some of the people and thank some of the people that have helped me to get to this point. As you saw in the video, I started here in Penticton, and I saw Neil here. The late Dunk Jameson was the man who got me started. So Neil, thanks to you and your family. Along my time in Penticton as a teenager, my good friends Brent DeLue and Gary Nelson, you were tremendous mentors. You put me in some games I probably didn't belong in when I was young, and we had a lot of fun in the old North Okanagan Hockey League. We had to call the police a few times to get us out of towns like Oliver and Princeton, but it was a good way to learn. I must have liked it. I stuck with it. You helped me get into what was then the BC Junior Hockey League. Had my first game at Memorial Arena next door here when I was a teenager, and that was quite exciting, and many people along the way, like Tom Balfour, Lyle Balfour, Ron Renenberg, helped me through my time in the BC Junior Hockey League. And then when I was 19 years old, I went to a camp in Duncan, BC that was put on by what was then the BC Amateur Hockey Association, where I met some people like Bill Enos, Harry Addison, Bob Hall, Charlie Bean, and Rob Schick, and they helped me get my foot in the door with the Western Hockey League when I was 19 years old. Rick Dirksen gave me a chance, and I started working in the Western Hockey League. That was quite exciting. Once a month I used to drive to Kelowna for $35 a game, but it was quite exciting because we didn't have to wear a helmet, and they had a live organist at the game. So from there I realized I was limited, and I had to move to Vancouver, where I met another man by the name of Al Paradise. He's since passed. Al was a tremendous help. He taught us a lot, both on and off the ice. They now have an award in the Western Hockey League named after him for their top official, so he was a big help to me. Rick Dirksen was the one who gave me my start in the Western Hockey League, and that was a big time for me. Then in 1988, Brian Lewis and John McCauley hired me to work in the NHL, and they gave me my start I'll be forever grateful for, because for 30 years I had the pleasure to go on the ice with the best players and the best officials in the world. I miss it every day, but it was time. I had a lot of mentors in my time, especially early on in my career. John D'Amico, Swede Knox, Kevin Collins. My good friends Brad Lazarowicz, Jay Shares, and Robbie Schick all helped me. And I'd just like to thank all the people that I worked for and with during my time on the ice in the NHL. Too many to name. I've had the good fortune to be employed by the National Hockey League for 31 years and counting, so I'm very thankful to them as well. I want to thank my mom. She used to take me to, excuse me, old Memorial Arena for Peach Buds when I was 3 and 4. And my dad used to build my brothers and I an outdoor rink up on Ridgedale. So thanks, Mom and Dad, for my start. And all your love and support over the years. When Brian Lewis hired me in 1988, he said, NHL stands for not home lately or no home life. When I was 24 and single, that sounded like a great life. I couldn't wait to get started. They paid me $30,000, I would have paid them $30,000. But now, some 31 years later and about 5,000 nights in a hotel, it's still exciting, but during that time I missed a lot of events with my family. So, to my children, Jacob, Miranda, and Harrison, thank you for your understanding, your love, and your support. I couldn't be more proud of each of you. As an example of the sacrifice that my children made, today is my son's 19th birthday. He gave up being at home with his girlfriend and his friends to be here with all of us, so thank you all for attending his birthday party. And not to be left out, Sunday is my daughter Miranda's 21st birthday, so tomorrow we have to get home because we live in California, and at 12:01 tomorrow night she can legally go out. To my wife Debbie, you were often a single parent while I was away. And then I'd come home and foul up the routine and get in the way and teach the kids bad habits. So saying thank you just seems so inadequate. So I'll just say that without your love and support and your understanding, I wouldn't be here celebrating this tonight. So we do this as a family. And as I said at my last game, the players are getting younger and faster, and my skill set's going the other way. So it's time for me to move along. Thanks very much, and enjoy your evening.
Thank you very much, and congratulations again to Shane. Our next inductee in the player category from Trail Smoke Eaters, the Beaver Valley Whitehawks, Regina Pats, on to an outstanding career in the National Hockey League. From the Kootenays, Trail and Fruitvale to an 876-game career in the NHL, Calder Trophy, and also representing Canada proudly. Again, I ask you to direct your attention to the screens for this video.
Born in Trail, BC, Barrett Jackman started his junior hockey career in the Kootenays, winning a Cyclone Taylor Cup with the Junior B Beaver Valley Nighthawks, and also lacing them up for the hometown BCHL Smoke Eaters. From there, Jackman went on to play for the Regina Pats of the Western Hockey League and was named captain of the team at the young age of 17. Regarded as one of the best all-around defensemen in Pats history, Jackman was drafted in the first round of the NHL draft, 17th overall by the St. Louis Blues. In his first full season, he won the Calder Trophy, the National Hockey League's annual Rookie of the Year award. Jackman would go on to play 12 seasons with the Blues before finishing up his career with the Nashville Predators. He played in over 800 games in the show and is extremely proud to enter the BC Hockey Hall of Fame this evening.
Drafted in the first round of the NHL draft, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome into the BC Hockey Hall of Fame Barrett Jackman, and making the presentation, former BC Hockey Hall of Fame inductee Steve Tambellini.
Thanks, everybody. First off, I want to apologize for anybody that was bidding on the tube over there. My daughter might have growled and barked at you a few times, so apologize for that. But a few months ago, I got the call from Steve Tambellini about the induction. It was very honored, very proud, and a little bit taken aback that I actually had to give a speech tonight. So I asked Brett Hall, possibly what to say. He said, drink a bottle of tequila and sing Gloria, but my singing voice isn't that great, so I won't do that. Then I talked to an old teammate of mine today, Mark Rycroft, and his brother Travi, and they told me you're one of the last ones to speak, so keep it short because either people aren't going to remember it or they don't want to hear you speak. So. But all kidding aside, it's a huge honor to be here. Growing up in BC, you watch the Canucks and you play against a lot of great competition, and Trail Smoke Eaters cut me a couple times, I think. So, it's great that you mentioned them in the introduction. But I have some great memories of playing Junior B and playing Vancouver Selects and Vancouver Super Series, and a lot of things that I've done in this province. And to be recognized with some great people, Shane, had a lot of run-ins with you. Thankfully, you patted me on the back, and I went the other way. And Ron, a lot of respect for what you do as well. I got a taste of the scouting part of it, the last couple of years, and it's a tough road. And you've been doing it for a lot of years, and a lot of people I work with respect you a lot and have great things to say. So. For all the rest of the inductees, it's an honor to be standing here with you. Sadine's sorry I scared them away again out of a building, but maybe they'll come back eventually. But But honestly, this is a huge honor for my family, my wife and my kids to be here. You know, my kids don't, you know, probably remember a lot, but to see me up here, it's pretty cool. My mom and sisters are here and sacrificed a lot over the years, so I'm glad that you guys are here. So thank you, everybody, and have a great night.
Thank you, Barrett. And we've got the 50-50 draw. $1,390. No, I didn't buy one. Okay. 244757. 244757. $1,390. Check your tickets. You have to be here to win. No one has it? You've got it.
Thank you. These people did not put table numbers on their bid cards.
No, he's got it there. Come on up. Confirm it. Yeah.
244757? 244757?
A few people didn't put their table. Jack Murray. Jack, shame on you for the silent auction. Tina. Dixon, talk to Tina. She didn't put the table number down. Barb H. The Leavenworth Oktoberfest. Barb, we need your table number. The Paddle and Dine, STN.
It's for ride, paddle, and dine.
But the name is STN. There you go. And Shayna Delorme.
So they can come and see me over here.
Red Rooster Winery. There we go. Okay.
Come and see me over here.
Our next induction, a pair of hockey players with great NHL careers. Perhaps two of the greatest Vancouver Canucks of all time. Drafted by Brian Burke in 1999, these twin brothers from Sweden dominated the NHL over a course of 17-year career in Vancouver. It was a real pleasure to watch them, get to know them. Please now turn your attention to the monitors for this video presentation.
A major player early in this draft will be Brian Burke, the general manager of the Vancouver Canucks, with the number 3 pick.
Henrik and Daniel Sedin were inseparable growing up in Sweden, but they were never supposed to be that way in the National Hockey League. Two of the top-rated prospects on the planet in 1999, even the Sedins figured their time as line mates was over.
So you get 4 2/3 in return for the first pick overall. Yep. Okay? Yep. You got my word, so Jay's heard it. We're not taking anyone but twins, and he promised me he's taking Stefan.
But a flurry of draft day trades allowed the Vancouver Canucks to select the Twins 2nd and 3rd overall.
The Vancouver Canucks are very proud to select Daniel and Henrik Sedin.
Was it as big a deal to you two as it seemed to everyone else, the fact that you had to play together, or would you have been fine to be on different teams?
You know, we're best friends and we played on the same line for 6 or 7 years, so that's what we wanted.
You guys sitting in the right order? Daniel's on the left? No?
Even as the Twins struggled to establish themselves in the NHL, it was obvious the Sedin's game was unique.
Henrik Sedin, center, and Daniel scores! Daniel Sedin's first National Hockey League goal!
They were all about about puck possession long before the rest of the league caught on to that value.
Henrik Sedin to Daniel, he scores! Great goal, Daniel Sedin from Henrik Sedin in overtime.
What allowed the Sedins to succeed was something a lot of people still don't understand: their toughness.
Night after night, they faced teams that would, try to be physical, punch them in the face, and try to get them off their game. And they had to keep playing, and they still produced under those circumstances.
Set aside for a moment their physical toughness and durability. Think about the Sedins' mental toughness, their emotional toughness. All great players get booed, but name 2 other elite players who have been criticized, even ridiculed, as much as the Sedins were.
Unfortunately, when a narrative gets started, people want to pile on, sisters, not tough enough, all those sorts of things, just completely unfair.
Look at this down the corner. Daniel Sedin and Clark Wilm.
The Sedins were too soft, too passive, too slow, too weak, too Swedish.
They were easy to pick on, I guess, a little bit because they were Swedish, a little bit because they were fair-haired twins.
Mostly, they were too identical.
I'm not proud to say this, but it took me 3.5 years to tell them apart. For 3.5 years, every time they'd walk into the bus, whoever it was, I'd say, "How you doing, Danny?" And I'd get the nod or I'd get the...
As with the abuse they absorbed on the ice, the Sedins never complained. The criticism made them stronger, more determined, even better leaders in a dressing room where they have dictated the standard for commitment and professionalism for more than a decade.
The Twins took over, but they took over just by being themselves. Best example as far as, coming to camp and being in great shape. Best example, before and after practice about working out.
Every year in training camp, they were the number 1, number 2 in fitness. Even in their 30s, they were still the fastest on the bike, shuttle runs, pull-ups, bench press. They were always number 1 and 2 on the team.
That fierce fortitude was as important as their skill, as Danny and Hank amassed more than 2,600 games and 2,100 points entirely for the Canucks.
Daniel centers, Henrik Deeds scores! 1,000 points in the NHL, and he's done it against the man from Bogey. Received the captaincy, and they have a quick embrace.
I thought it was appropriate, to congratulate him. Not just, on that goal specifically, but more of, his whole journey up to that point and the years that we spent together.
Daniel Sedin will have it. He scores! Slap pass score! Daniel from Henrik. Oh, what a goal! Henrik Sedin! The hat trick! Daniel Sedin! Spinorama score! Daniel Sedin, what a beauty!
And they did all this while possessing something else a lot of people couldn't see: goodness, decency, selflessness.
Anytime somebody new would come in, they would greet them, take them for supper. They were as good of players, and they were MVPs in the league. They were a better person.
They treat people the right way. That's what I like too. They, especially their own teammates, coaches, staff, they're just like the ultimate professionals.
Thank you. Good luck today.
It is ironic that so much of the discussion about the Sedins was framed by their appearance, when so much of what they accomplished was driven by things you can't see. They are 2 of the best in every sense. There will never be another 2 players like them.
They were twins, they were best friends, they were great players. They were the whole package.
They're so humble and pretty quiet guys. But when they're on the ice, they made something very special.
They've made a great impact in Sweden for playing hockey. And they're someone that, inspired a lot of kids to start the game.
There were 2 of my heroes growing up. They obviously have some unbelievable skill, but I think their work ethic is what separates them from most guys.
I think those 2 now realize the amount of respect that us players have for them. That's the only thing that matters. The respect's always been there. It'll always be given to them, and that's what makes them Hall of Famers.
Unfortunately, Daniel and Henrik are not able to join us tonight. They're home in Sweden with their families, but they wanted to convey this following message.
Sorry we couldn't be there with all of you tonight. On behalf of my brother and family, we'd like to first off congratulate the other inductees of the 2019 BC Hockey Hall of Fame class, including Ron DeLorme, Barry Jackman, Shane Heyer, Karen Wallace, and the 97-98 South Surrey Eagles. We'd like to also thank the entire BC Hockey Hall of Fame selection committee for this honor. We had the privilege of playing our entire NHL careers in British Columbia, and to go into a Hall of Fame with names we've looked up to and had the privilege of playing against, like Trevor Linden, Thomas Gradin, Steve Eisenman, Scott Niedermayer, Paul Kariya, and Joe Sakic, makes this extra special. Our success on the ice would not have been possible without the teammates we played with over the years, and we share this honor with them. We'd like to personally acknowledge Marcus Naslund, Matthias Olen, Brandon Morrison, Trent Klatt, who took us under their wings when we came into the league. Also Alex Burrows and Anson Carter, who we had many successful years with. Alex Edler was a good teammate and great friend for a lot of years. And finally, Trevor Linden, who taught us how to become good players and good people. So thank you.
Of course, we would not be standing here accepting this award if it wasn't also for the many coaches and mentors we had guiding us throughout our careers. There are so many to name from throughout our careers, but we'd like to recognize our NHL coaches, Mark Crawford, Elaine Vigneault, John Tortorella, Willie Desjardins, and Travis Green. We'd also like to thank the various staffs of the Canucks and the first GM to draft us, Brian Burke. We grew up in a small town in northern Sweden called Örnsköldsvik, roughly the population of Penticton. It's located next to the ocean. It's beautiful year-round, and people there are passionate about hockey. Sound familiar, right? What I remember most and what made it such a special place growing up was that people cared about the welfare of others and were there to help one another. We're grateful to have learned those values and proud to be from that community. Luckily for us, we were drafted by a team and welcomed to a much larger city and province that shares the same values of respect, responsibility, and compassion. We moved here when we were 19 years old, 7,000 kilometers away from our hometown, and today are just as proud to call Vancouver and BC home because of the true sense of community that exists here. When we visited Canada and British Columbia for the first time, our first stop was actually in the beautiful city of Penticton. So in a neat way, our journey has come full circle with tonight's induction. Thank you again for this great honor, and we hope you all have a great and memorable evening.
There they are, Daniel and Henrik. You talk about two classy and talented individuals. To accept their introduction and induction into the BC Hockey Hall of Fame, we welcome former inductee Stan Smeel of the Canucks, and to present the award, also a past inductee and elite hockey broadcaster, Jim Hewson.
Well, twins we're not, Jim. There's no way we look alike, you and I. On behalf of the Vancouver Canucks, I want to congratulate the 2019 inductees. As you look around this room and see the names that are listed in the hall in the back, it's quite remarkable the level of talent and success that has been achieved. It's a night to celebrate records and share stories. But it's more than that. It's about recognizing the impact these individuals have had on their teammates, on their colleagues, and on their community. They leave a legacy here in BC, helping to inspire the next generation to develop a deep love and passion for the game. Again, congratulations.
Thank you, Stan, and thank you, Jim. a most impressive class of 2019 inductees. Thank you to all past inductees, and a special thank you to you, the fans, for your outstanding support and attendance tonight as we all share with the inductees and their families. Let's give them all a nice round of applause, the 2019 inductees. And personally, I'd like to thank members of the selection committee, all volunteers, sponsors, the great arena staff here, all the committee members. Truly a wonderful and memorable evening. On behalf of the BC Hockey Hall of Fame, thanks again and good night.